I have spoken before numerous times on this channel in reference to virtual reality technology and its ever-evolving integration with the video gaming world. It's quite fascinating to watch, even from a sideline perspective. I've mentioned before, I'm not a VR player personally. I've never really been a big proponent of a technology. I have some health concerns of it from some research I did years ago. It's a side point, and even then, maybe it's just my taste. You know, every gamer has their preferred method of how they enjoy art in this avenue, and I tend to be more of a console guy. Maybe sometimes that's slash mobile, but I'm predominantly more a console gamer. But it is interesting, just again, outside looking in, watching how much this space has grown into the mainstay that it is today. And I would really say that it is a mainstay. I mean, there's so many titles at this point for new developing franchises, some one-off releases, and for many developers across the board, you're really seeing an all-in jump into creating art in a new vision, one that stresses, and I understand this, much more immersive qualities to it. If there's a title that I feel integrates sufficiently with the virtual reality format as it already exists, and of course you can clearly tell based on this video what I'm referencing, or maybe you can reference in my past videos as well that I've given this game, I feel that Among Us, as it's currently portrayed within the mobile space, is a perfect shoe-in to be readapted into this new vision with what VR gaming can do. And maybe some of you are not familiar with Among Us. This might be a fresh look for you. There's always maybe one person out there. I was like this maybe a couple years, months ago. I don't remember exactly when I started playing. So maybe I'll give you a bit of a baseline. It's an easy game to jump into if you want. It's on mobile platforms, I think across Android and Apple. It's free. You can play it with, at this point, about 15 friends. They've upped that since the max was 10 when I started. But it's a really fun game if you're looking to have some sort of adventurous thriller type ride with a group of your friends. It's very easy again to jump in. You don't have to do too much homework. You just jump in, start tasks right away from what the game addresses for you, or maybe your main goal is running away from the friend that's trying to kill you. It is again quite a fun release. It's adventurous, it's silly, but it's very entertaining. I can't tell you how many hours I spent playing it, honestly. It's a very fun game, especially when, again, you play with a large group of your friends, as I have many times. And covering this new edition, again, it's pretty easy to see the translation, going from an aerial viewpoint where you're sort of moving your finger around and watching your character run through at least one map. There's 4, if I remember right, on the game. I still think they're only sticking with 1 for this VR release. I might be wrong on that. But, I mean, they've only addressed 1 in the trailers thus far. But you're taking that aerial perspective and switching it to a first person, as if you yourself are running around this ship as your avatar. I forget what they're called. I think it's quite an interesting idea. And seeing it again from what I previously covered with this game, I've been very impressed with how easily the format has been translated, I think seamlessly. And now we have a release date. Again, it's been advertised for quite a while, and it's, actually the title mentions that it's going to be on November 10th, I believe, of this year. My computer does not list the year. I'm assuming 2022. I don't know, it's just too long of a title. Anywho, let's go ahead and take a look at this and see if maybe there's any changes, or if there is a greater map variety. I've spoken before on that level because there's a couple maps that are given on the Among Us game. I could see future content updates. I could see maybe some of the features of the game being integrated into a VR-friendly form later on, and that could be just maybe continual DLC drops. I don't know what they call it. Are they DLC drops in the video game, in the VR world? I don't know exactly. But so far, I've been impressed. I think, again, it's a perfect translation. Let's see how it looks in its current condition and enjoy the very soon release date as of me making this video about 6 days from now. All right. I mean, I don't know. I might be playing. Maybe I'd be willing to jump into the VR space for this. I don't know. I've had a lot of fun with the mobile version, so maybe this would bring me into VR. I think there's a possibility. Let's take a look at this, though. Again, it's basically all the features of the game, but just readapted for a new lens and perspective. You got some of the customizable features. Did I mention that before? That might have been a part. But now you've seen it from the imposter perspective. This is different. We've only seen it from a player perspective previously, I think. The animations are quite fun. it seems like the rounds are a bit longer as well on VR. Like you're seeing characters go through the vents at a new angle. It takes a little more time. So up to 10. Okay, so it's not the 15. I was going to ask that, because I did take note of that on the sheet that they had. I'm like, is it the full roster or is it not? They'll probably update that in time, I would imagine. That's good. I mean, the music's always a lot of fun. But that looks like, again, a perfect adaptation. It's basically stressing everything I've seen before with this game. So all the key features that we've noted previously in other trailers are here and again stressed, except the perspective is different. In this case, you are the imposter. You yourself are that character running through the ship. I'm assuming, again, based on the way that this was marketed and the fact it's only limited to 10 players at a time. Maybe that's just the limitations of VR technology, although I don't know for sure. Maybe you could go up to 15 theoretically. I'm assuming it's going to be just one map, not the 4 that are offered total in the game. Again, I don't know for sure. Feel free to crack down below if you have better information on that than I do. But it's the one they keep advertising. But like I said, all the features are the same. So if maybe even your concern in jumping into this would be, maybe in my position, I've never played a VR game in my life. You know, I'd rather do it on the mobile space because that's where it's more comfortable. I feel that jumping in, if you so chose, to this VR edition, I think it would work really well. The features, again, are the same. The format is pretty consistent. Again, it's just a perspective change. And it seems some of the animations go on for a little longer, like the vent crawling. That's pretty quick in the game. So you're actually getting each of the avatars jumping in, having to make that ascension deeper within the ship to go to new areas. Do they actually give you the vent perspective? I would imagine they would. I couldn't tell. I missed it if they did on here. Like you see all the hallways and stuff. I'm not sure. But either way, it's easy to jump in if you want. And I think it's, like I've been saying, it's a perfect upgrade to the game from what's currently available. It's right in line of what we've come to expect. It's just changing the perspective. That's really the fundamental shift here. And I think it's one that fits. What are your guys' thoughts of Among Us VR? How do you feel about it if you are an Among Us player? Do you prefer watching this the mobile format? Or do you want to try something new and this might be more to your liking? Let me know what your opinion is down below and which console or format you might... device you play it on. Which one you would prefer to enjoy the Among Us story. I think... You know, like I've been saying, I'm not a big VR game player, but maybe I'll make an exception for Among Us VR. It looks like a lot of fun. Again, it's easy to jump into, and I don't think I'd have much trouble jumping from one system to the other in terms of format. And I think it'd be quite a thrilling new way to enjoy the story, in my opinion. I do think there's a lot of potential to this. And again, we'll see in the future, you know, with what's available on the mobile format as it exists today, again, with the variety of maps and other features. Will there be like future content updates? I could see that being an avenue for Innersloth to have some fun, you know, going forward and keeping a fresh perspective and opinion coming into this game. And, you know, obviously a renewed player base that wouldn't necessarily drop off. They'd keep inclining in rate. I think there's a lot of potential for the future of Among Us VR, even beyond just its actual release. We'll see where its evolution goes from this perspective, but so far I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.